Okay, I've used a lot of AI video tools. Higgsfield is already one of the best ones out there, but they just did something I genuinely did not see coming. They put the whole thing inside After Effects, not a browser tab, not a separate app inside your project on your timeline. And it talks to Claude directly. If you're a motion designer, an editor, anybody who lives in After Effects for a living, this is the part you need to see. Quick context if you're new to this. Higgsfield is an AI creative engine. You describe a shot, a scene, a style, and it generates real video. People are using it for ads, music videos, UGC, game trailers, all of it. It's fast, it's genuinely good, and it's built for creators who actually ship stuff, not just play around. That's not the new part. The new part is this: Higgsfield now installs as a plugin right inside After Effects. Generate, edit, reframe, upscale without ever leaving your project. And it connects to Higgsfield MCP, which means Claude can drive it for you. So instead of bouncing to a browser, generating something, downloading the file, and dragging it back into your comp like some kind of caveman, you just describe what you want, and it shows up on your timeline. Let me actually show you this, because it's easier to believe once you see it happening in real time. So here's After Effects, completely normal project, nothing weird going on. Over on the side, that's the Higgsfield panel, docked right into my workspace like any other panel you'd already use. Effects, character libraries. Now Higgsfield sits right next to them. Inside that panel is a chat box. And this is the part that trips people up the first time they see it. That's not a generic text field, that's Claude. You're literally talking to Claude, and Claude is the one operating Higgsfield for you through MCP. So I'm not clicking through 5 menus to pick a model, a resolution, a style preset. I just type what I want in plain language, watch what happens when I type a prompt. I describe the shot, camera move, subject, mood, whatever detail matters to me. Hit generate, and instead of that spinning wheel of doom while I sit there refreshing a browser tab, the generation happens right here inside the panel while my project stays open behind it. And here's the thing that actually matters for people who edit for a living. When it's done, it doesn't dump a file into your downloads folder for you to go hunt down. It drops straight onto your timeline. Look at that. New layer, already placed, already synced to your comp's frame rate and resolution. You're not importing anything. You're not converting anything. It's just there, ready to work with. Now, say I look at that clip and think the framing's a little off. I need this vertical instead of widescreen. Normally, that's a whole process. Reframe, re-export, re-import. Here, I just ask for it. Reframe to 9:16. It regenerates the crop intelligently, not just a dumb center crop that cuts someone's head off, and it updates right there in the timeline. Same thing with upscaling. If I generated something at a lower res just to test an idea, and now I want to actually use it in the final deliverable, I don't need a separate upscaling tool. I don't need another subscription. I don't need a round trip through Topaz or whatever you're used to. I ask the panel to upscale it, and it does in place. One more thing worth pointing out while I've got this open, notice I never touched a drop-down menu this whole time. No picking a model from a list, no digging through settings to find the right aspect ratio preset, no separate export step before I can even see the clip in context. Every one of those decisions is just a sentence in the chat box. That sounds small until you've spent an afternoon tab switching between a browser and your project, and you realize how much of that time was never actually creative work, it was just plumbing. And because it's Claude on the other end of that chat box, it's not just running one hard-coded command per button. You can talk to it the way you talk to an assistant sitting next to you. Make the lighting warmer. Give me 3 variations of this shot. Match the color grade of the last clip I approved. It understands the context of the conversation, not just the last thing you typed. Here's why I think this is actually a big deal, and not just another plugin announcement. The bottleneck in AI video has never really been the generation quality anymore. That's gotten good fast across basically every tool out there. The bottleneck has been the workflow. Generate somewhere else, download it, bring it into your actual editing software, hope the frame rate matches, hope the resolution matches, redo it if it doesn't. Every one of those steps is a place where you lose time and lose momentum on the creative idea you actually had. Higgsfield just deleted that entire chain. You're not switching context. You're not tabbing out. You stay in After Effects on your timeline, in your flow state, and the generation comes to you instead of you going to get it. For motion designers specifically, this changes what's actually worth doing by hand versus what's worth generating. Need a quick background plate you don't want to shoot or build from scratch? Ask for it, it lands on your timeline, you keep animating on top of it. Need a placeholder shot just to block out timing before the real footage comes in? Same thing, done in the time it takes to type a sentence. Think about how many projects get slowed down by that one shot you don't have and can't shoot on short notice. A crowd scene, a location you don't have access to, a weather condition you can't wait around for, that used to mean stock footage that never quite matches your grade, or a compromise that dulls the whole edit. Now it means describing the shot to Claude and having it appear where you actually need it, already sitting in the right spot on your timeline, ready to be graded and cut like everything else in the project. If you want to try this yourself, the plugin installs like any other After Effects extension. You'll find it through Higgsfield directly. It walks you through connecting your account, and once it's authenticated, the panel just shows up in your workspace. No separate license key juggling, no weird file paths, none of that. Look, I say a tool is a game changer more often than I probably should, because a lot of stuff in this space is genuinely impressive. But this one actually changes how I work, not just what I'm capable of generating. Having Claude sit inside After Effects and drive Higgsfield for me with results landing directly on my timeline is the closest thing I've seen to AI video tools actually meeting editors where we already work instead of asking us to come to them. If you're a video editor or motion designer and you've been curious about AI generation but didn't want to deal with the browser tab download import dance every single time, this is the version worth trying. I'll drop the link below. Go mess with it and let me know in the comments what the first thing is you try to generate straight onto your timeline.